Hey, Chris Lippe here with some more Julian Casablancas, The Strokes, the song Ode to the Mets. I've gotten lots of tricklings since I did the last Julian Casablancas analysis video. You gotta do Ode to the Mets, you gotta do it. And it's been really fun. If you've been following my channel over the last few months, I've been doing regular Strokes reviews and analyses. It's been amazing to really dig in to Julian's vocal transformation from the early days, the early 2000s, all the way up into this most recent album. And I've had a lot of fun picking out different nuances and trying things with my own voice, and it sounds like a lot of you have as well, because I've gotten great feedback about this little mini-series. So we're definitely going to be diving into this one the same way we've done the other ones. If you'd like more help with your voice and you haven't done so yet, click the link below and join my free course. I'll help you work through the solid foundations that you need to do some of the things that we've seen Julian develop over time. And I'll be able to work with you on a more personal level from there as well. Man, the layers here. You got the simple guitar. You got that sort of mellotron-y sound over here. I love the spread. I love that about this album, too. It's very sparse, yet full. The whole album is.
Up on his horse, not gonna wake up here anymore. Listen one time, it's not the truth, it's just a story.
Hear a truth. And he's doing this multiple times where it's time. He is on the verge of vocal fry a lot. And he's almost allowing his vibrato to carry him there. Really, really neat. And I've mentioned that on other songs too. But he does that a lot in the beginning in this one, and it's worth noting.
I tell to you, easy to say, easy to do, but it's not easy, well maybe for you. Hope that you find it, hope that it's good.
Oh, good. Good. Let yourself do that. Feather out. Good. Pull the rug out from under your voice. Let your voice kind of feather into an almost, even though it's low, head voice sort of vibrato, and then fry. Fry. Good. Good. So cool. And he's low, low. You can sense the vibration in his face as you're listening to it. I love when you can hear singers or feel singers that you're listening to because of how in touch they are. And the production has a lot to do with that too, because this is very upfront and forward, not only in how he's placing the sound, but in how it's recorded.
That you read it, think that you should, cut you some slack. As he sits back, sizes you up, plans his attack. Drums, please, fab. And I got it all, waiting for me.
I got it all. Notice how the resonance changed. There's compression there. I got it all. He's dropping. He's opening his throat there, yawning almost a little bit. Although that's an extreme, what I'm doing. I got it all. How many times do we think about dialing in a tone for the song? That multiple tones are what make multiple postures of your voice, even with very limited ranges, are what make an interesting vocal performance.
Down on the street, but now you gotta do something special for me. I'm gonna say what's on my mind, then I'll
You got to listen to that will not show again. There's a lot to unpack there.
I will not show my
He spent time in this. He spent a lot of time there. And I know I will not. Compression. And he's not thinning out like he has in other songs. He is remaining in chest, but notice how he targets those notes. I will not, falls off of them. Listen to the line again.
his thumb on his back. I will not show my teeth too quick.
Quick! Yeah, he nailed that pitch, but there's not where there's a little bit of pitch there, but the pitch isn't the goal. The attitude is the goal. The pitch is very, very secondary here. And I would even say that as we're working this mindset into our voices, it's important that we don't try to parrot or imitate what he's doing, but instead we take this line. I will not show my teeth too quick. And we just focus on this idea that we're throwing our voice up there, and then letting our voice go down. I will not. And try to be staccato with a couple of the words too, as we're targeting. Not. Don't make hitting that pitch your goal. Make getting the attitude and kissing the pitch or around it, and then falling off of it. Singers don't practice attitude enough. They practice pitch and singing correctly way too much, and that leads to a boring voice. Huge lesson from Julian right here. He's an accurate singer when he wants to be, but the most interesting parts is when he's cutting loose. Notice how he lightens up at the end of those phrases. This is not, I needed you there. This is, I needed you there. You can hear that little trail. I'm exaggerating it a lot, but wow, he's really leaning in. I needed you there. If you can do that, maintain note consistency while you're going in and out of different resonances, while you're allowing your vibrato to come, while you're exercising compression and abandon, you're going to be able to be way more expressive because you're not locked into hitting one note a certain way. Choice of arranging. And then you've got the guitar in there, which sounds very similar to that range. It's part of the production on this album that is so good, where it's both full and simple and sparse at the same time because of the way they've chosen to arrange things.
Back from his trip, he's at the door.
Door. It's awesome how he's so consistent with that, yet so flippant with it. Leaning into the note, door. When I'm really quiet right there, even on that note, I am feeling it in my head resonance. That's what he's doing too. This is what helps you unlock vibrato, believe it or not. If you experience with it, you will welcome vibrato as you practice leaning into a note and then trailing off into your head voice. It'll feel like voice cracking for a while, but it doesn't need to stop there. It doesn't need to stop with just voice cracking if you really lean into the experimentation.
Out of control, I was just bored, playing the guitar, learned all your tricks, wasn't too hard. It's the last one now, I can promise you that I'm gonna find out the truth when I get back.
So much conversation there. And you can hear him escalating up in intensity, and up to that back, la 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 la. Notice how what I'm doing as I go higher, I open up, I get my face out of the way, I add more compression, of course, but this posture of my face and how I'm brightening things as I go higher, a lot of singers go the other direction and they start darkening and tensing back, and they're more comfortable down here. He takes the opposite approach, which you should too as you're experimenting.
Gone now are the old times forgotten. Time to hold on the railing.
There was one of those those cracks. Is it vibrato? Is it voice cracking?
This cubism solving for us. Old friends long forgotten the old way.
Listen to how lazy he sounded on this one. The old ways. He's still allowing his voice to brighten up a little bit there. But this is not the old ways as he was earlier. He was creating that sort of reverse funnel, that energetic, bright as you get higher. Here, he's maintaining that the old ways. That's why it's so amazing to think about the fact that there's no right way to do this, but there is a best way. And the best way is most dynamic and most flexible and diverse, based on inspired expression, is the best way to sing. Not what should I be doing, what is correct. It is what is most expressive in light of the techniques and sensations you have available to you.
At the bottom of the ocean, now it's swallowed the old.
Swallowed! There, he did a really good job of opening up.
That's left is us to part in the silence that you're hearing. It's turning into a deafening, painful, shameful road.
Shameful. There was a very subtle sigh at the end of that. Listen to that part again. So good.
Painful, shameful road.
Shame, shameful. Let yourself sigh out of it. Even if it doesn't sound anything like what he does, you will get some of that vulnerability in your voice, and then you'll be able to fine-tune it. Shameful road. Ooh, that was cool. Shameful road. There at the end, I take my resonance and I place it further back into where my soft palate is and less forward as I sort of sigh out of that note. Creates this really neat sense of vulnerability. Such a great vocalist, so much to pull from not only a technique perspective, but from a subtle, expressive perspective. There's so many ways that he coaxes you to listen through a line and really get attached to his voice. It's like you're riding on his voice as he's singing. These are my favorite types of vocalists, and there are few that actually do this to the extent that Julian does, which is why I think particularly his stuff off of this album really is the best example of this. He's engaging. He's emotionally connected. He's not ostentatious or egregious or over the top in any way. He floats through different types of resonances and characters and arcs. It's wonderful. Again, if you'd like more help with this kind of approach, click the link below and join my free voice course. Thank you for continuing to suggest Julian. I'll keep doing them as long as you keep watching them. We'll see you for more.